Hey guys, Chrissy Etheridge here, the oilist. All right, so this is just a quick video about user application, probably the best way to term what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to show you really quick how to fill a roller ball, how to fill a water spritzer or spritzer mist, how to fill a veggie cap, and also how to use your diffuser. Okay, so let's start first with a roller bottle. Now we talked earlier in the previous video about how that you have a 10 milliliter size and a 5 milliliter size, okay? Most recipes that you're gonna find online refer to a 10 milliliter recipe. So if you are doing a 5, you obviously need to cut it in half. There's also dilutional ratios for kids, and typical rule of thumb is whatever their age is how many drops you're going to put in. Okay, it's kind of a simple rule of thumb. There are, however, some other variances. For example, a 5-year-old can handle about 5 to 10 drops inside a 10 milliliter. Whereas a 3-year-old, you'd want to do 3 to 6 drops. Okay, so you can do their age and double it depending on what the recipe is. So 3-year-old, 3 to 6, 5-year-old, 5 to 10, and so forth and so on. Typically, by the time they're about 10 years old, if they can use an adult size roller bottle. So when you are making your roller bottle, you do need to make sure that you know the recipe that you're using. So let's do an example here with the 5 milliliter. So every time you purchase this, you're going to get a cap, you're going to get the actual roller ball itself. Remember, there's going to be plastic or stainless steel, depends on what you buy, and then your roller, your glass container, okay? So 3 pieces come whenever you purchase this. So you're going to take your essential oil that you're going to blend, okay? And when you take the cap off of it, you're going to notice that there's an orifice reducer, all right? Now this fancy cap right here is going to allow different viscosities of oils to come out at a certain rate. So instead of tipping it over and shaking it, that's not going to give you the right drops. You need to tip it over and allow the oil to drop into the roller bottle. Now, one thing that we find is obviously different oils have different viscosities, and you want to count the oil that you put inside, okay? Now, depending on, if it's a really thin oil like peppermint, it's going to come out a lot faster. This is balanced, the grounding blend. It's a little bit thicker, so it takes longer to come out. But once you get your count of drops in that go with the recipe, then you're going to take your fractionated coconut oil with the pump and literally stick the pump inside and squirt until you get to the top line. Not this section, but the top line, because you still have to put your cap on, right? You still have to put this on, and that goes inside that space. Do you see that? All right, so you only want to fill it to where the glass, the top of the glass container, and then you stick your top on. And then all you have to do is shake it and roll it, all right? So main places that we use roller bottles, really easy places to use roller bottles, would be on the bottoms of your feet, on the middle of your inner wrist, certainly your neck area. You can do it on chakra areas, if you understand what that means. So inside your heart chakra, pretty much in between your boobs, that would work well. Also over your belly button and around your belly button is certainly a place to put essential oils. So there's a lot of different places that you can use your roller bottle once you make your blend, okay? For kiddos, it's easier to put it on the bottoms of their feet and up and down their spine. That way they're not touching it. But once they get savvy enough, my 3-year-old grandson knows how to put these oils on himself. So by all means, once you teach a kid how to do it, they know how to use it, okay? So that's a great roller bottle. When it comes to, and you want to make sure you label it. I did mention that in the previous video, but I always want to remind you to label it. Inside your kit, when you enrolled, you got a book, and inside that book in the middle page are stickers that look just like this. So each oil, and depending on how, you know, how much we use the oil, depends on how many stickers you got. You can certainly go to a lot of different websites that make their own stickers. Amazon, you can get some more stickers as well. Just Google essential oil label stickers and it pops up everywhere. So these are becoming very common. You want to make sure that you're in the doTERRA stickers, because when we do use specific blends that are proprietary to doTERRA, you're going to want that specific name on your sticker as well. Okay. So what I like to do, just a little fun fact, what I like to do if I'm using these stickers is I will actually write the drops of oils that I'm putting inside my recipe. So when it's time to refill it again, you can certainly refill it. Another little tip when it comes to the 10 milliliter roller bottles, this fits perfect box tape. And you can just line a small layer of box tape over your stickers and then they become waterproof. So just a little quick tip. So when it comes to spritzer bottles, this is a 2-ounce spritzer bottle. You can also get an 80 milliliter, which would be, I don't know, 60 ounce, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to do that math right now. But 2 ounces of water bottle, typically, or spritzer bottle, you can typically get 6 to 10 of these depending on how you're buying it with Amazon. So what you would do is you would fill your recipe up, you would do your oils first, and then fill it up with whether or not you're using water or witch hazel or fractionated coconut oil. These are great for linen sprays. You only want to use water with linen sprays. Because you don't want the oil to get on your sheets. You want to make sure it just dissipates very quickly. But for, depending on what you're using the recipe for, if you're doing a body spray, you're going to want to use coconut oil for sure so it sticks to the body better. But you just put your drops in and then fill it up with whatever your carrier is and then label it again appropriately. So that's the roller bottles and the spritzer bottle. So let's talk veggie caps. Okay, so I love veggie caps. This right here is available in your back office. You get 160 veggie caps for $4. So by all means, please make sure you put it in your cart next time you're there. So you want to get one veggie cap out. This is what it looks like. They're empty. You got 2 sides to it when you open it up. One's the bigger side, one's the short side. So you're going to put the drops of oils in the bigger side, and then you're going to put your veggie cap on it. So let me show you real quick. I make up a veggie capsule every night, or twice a day actually, of a wonderful combination that's helping me with my hormone regulation and weight loss. So it's yarrow palm, turmeric, and sorry, I'm doing this with limited desk space, and pink pepper. So I do 2 each inside my veggie capsule. So let me show you, and we'll do kind of a real live video. Now, certain viscosities are easier if you have a dropper, okay? So my yarrow palm, I'm specifically using a dropper because I get tired of waiting. It's this beautiful chamazoline blue, and so you're gonna see me put 1 drop and 2 drops. Super easy, okay? And then the turmeric and the pink pepper, they're thin, easy to come out. So I'm just gonna hold that surface over, and you're actually gonna be able to see it drop, hopefully. So I'm going to do maybe 1 drop and 2. Okay. And then you can see that I trusted the orifice reducer to do its job, which it very much did. If you're using a dropper, you are going to have to take the orifice reducer out in order to put the dropper in and leave it in. And so, you know, just I usually just stick it inside a baggie and put it in somewhere where I know where it's at. So then I put my 2 drops of pink pepper in it, and this comes out really fast. 1, 2. And then I put my cap back on for the top, right? So I'm going to put the lid back on. Typically what I have found, you don't have to shake this because this is just going inside your belly. I'm just kind of weird. I like to shake it up and do whatever. But what I have found is that a couple of things about the veggie capsule. Just like a pill. Okay, gone. What I have found about the veggie capsules, just a little FYI, I've done my own little personal research. First of all, you can fit about 12-ish 14-ish drops inside a veggie capsule. So I have an upper respiratory protocol that I use, and typically I will actually have to do 2 veggie capsules because there is that much quantity of oil in it that goes inside my like my bronchitis buster blend that we mix together when anybody in the house gets like upper respiratory flu or bronchitis. So that's just kind of a quick rule of thumb. Secondly, veggie capsules are all natural and they disintegrate super quick. So at room temperature, the minute that you make these, you need to take these, okay? But I did a small little experiment because I was curious. If I were to put this in the refrigerator, or if I was going to put this in the freezer, what would happen? And what I found is that even a week later, when we made both a veggie, and it had the exact same blends in it, or the exact same oils in it, I don't think that matters at all. But what I found is that in the refrigerator or in the freezer, they both lasted just as long. And over a week later, they were still completely intact. But at room temperature, when I just set it out in a bowl, within 30 minutes, or yeah, it was about 30 minutes, the oils actually started to dissolve the veggie capsule, and it was just a liquid mess inside the bowl. But in the refrigerator and freezer, they lasted for a very long time. I think the one in the freezer, we might have left it in there, or maybe the one in the refrigerator for several weeks, and it never disintegrated the veggie capsule. So certainly a rule of thumb, if for some reason you have a protocol that you like to take every day and this is easier for you to do that, you can make multiples and put them, I would just throw them in your freezer. I didn't see the oils freeze at all, but you can do your own quick experimentation and see what happens, just so you kind of trust it before you put your oils in there. So a little fun fact about veggie caps. But this is really easy to get people to take in your household that are averted to taking things orally, or maybe they don't like the flavor. I do not like the flavor of a lot of the essential oils. I love the smell. I love them on topically, but I do not like the taste. So this is my best friend, okay? All right, and last but not least, how do you use your diffuser? So I have brought out my pedal diffuser as my example to show you. There are a lot of different diffuser options out there. Just make sure that you're following the instructions. I have already filled water inside my diffuser, but I want you to see that the pedal diffuser, you fill to the red line. That's the watermark with the pedal diffuser. And so inside of a diffuser really quickly, and you're not going to be able to see it, I don't think, without me spilling. Maybe you might be able to see that little white disc there. That is what really allows that aeration to happen. And if that disc gets muddled with oil, then it certainly will not spit very well. But every diffuser has almost similar parts. So you've got the top that goes on your diffuser, and then you have this extra piece that kind of lets the circulating diffusing air go around it, so it mists better in there. So whenever you take this apart, you want to take this apart at least once a month and clean it. You want to make sure you completely take it apart, okay? So we've got our top on, we've got our water filled to our fill line, and now I'm going to put my oils in it. We are in holiday season, and so this brand new Harvest Spice just came out. I absolutely love it. It's already pre-blended, so I don't have to do anything else. I'm not making my own recipe. I'm just using a pre-blended recipe that doTERRA offers. And so I'm going to take my pedal diffuser, and inside my diffuser very specifically, this is a very strong smell because it's got cinnamon and cassia, clove, it's got nutmeg in it, so it's got a lot of deep fragrances that seem to permeate the air a lot faster and hover longer. So with this, I'm only going to put like 5 to 6 drops in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for fancy. If you happen to get another drop, you just get another drop. Please don't let that bother you at all. So now you're going to put your top back on. Okay. And then this diffuser in particular has a couple of different options. There we go. So this one right here has a 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. It's got a light option as well. So if I click the mist, it's going to light up 1 hour first, or no, it goes automatically to 2 hours, and then it goes to 4 hours. If I click the button again, the little green dot, you might not be able to see it very well, but the green dot hovers over the 4-hour mark. And then I can actually turn off and on the light if I wanted to use that type of atmosphere. So now you can see that there's this nice little fine mist, and if you get that mist in your diffuser, that means that your little white disc is clean. That's how you know that it's working properly. If for some reason you don't get this little mist, then I would honestly, unfortunately, tell you to dump it out, wipe the disc off with alcohol or vinegar, and then start over again. You could even just reserve this in a little bowl, pour it back in when you get done so you don't waste those 5 or 6 drops. But definitely if the disc is not clean, you're not going to get the mist, okay? So now we just enjoy the ambiance of the diffusing recipe. You can actually create your own nebulizer treatment. For example, if you're having upper respiratory problems, you can put your Breathe in there, your eucalyptus or peppermint, and just literally just sit over it and let it diffuse into your nasal passages and oral airways. You can definitely diffuse calming blends to help your kiddos sleep at night or for you to sleep at night. I love to turn this on the minute that I get up in the morning, give me a nice invigorating scent. Now, a couple of rules of thumb about diffusers. Make sure you know the square footage that it covers. This particular pedal diffuser covers about a 350 square foot space. So if you're trying to do this huge open area, open space, and nobody can smell it on the other side of the room, that might be your problem, is that your diffuser is not big enough for the space that you have. So that's one thing that you need to keep in mind when you go purchase them. The second thing you want to keep in mind is how long does it last? For example, if you want a diffuser to go all night long while you're sleeping, then a 4-hour diffuser is not going to be perfect for that space, right? So maybe you want your lavender to go throughout the entire 8 hours that you sleep. Well, then you're going to need to get a diffuser that diffuses for 8 to 10 hours. And a lot of those longer diffusers have an intermittent mist that maybe it turns off and on and off and on. And so the water and the essential oil in there isn't just burnt up within a couple of hours. So lots of options with diffusers. You can get a really cool, depending on your kiddos' themes. I know last year I bought a whale diffuser that had this little light thing that happened on the ceiling. I have a diffuser that plugs up to a Bluetooth. I mean, there's a lot of options out there now, guys, because people love diffusing. So that's how to use your diffuser. All right, happy oiling. Bye.